welcome. You're watching NewsX. I'm Megha Sharma, and the Finance Minister has announced the budget. Capital expenditure at 12.2 lakh crores. That's the big figure. But let me get in my panelists and get their perspectives on how the budget stands for 2026-2027. Mukul Bagla is the Chair, Direct Tax Committee of PhD CCI. Mukul, let's hear it from you. What are your key takeaways from the budget? All right, we'll be joined by Mukul Bagla of the PhD CCI in a very short moment. But like I said, India looking very healthy in terms of its GDP growth rate. We have reached the target of over $4 trillion as our GDP, looking at a healthy GDP growth rate of 6.8 to 7.2% as projected in the economic survey. And at the same time, a number of these custom duty waivers that have been announced by the Finance Ministry, whether it is about critical minerals, whether it is about the aviation industry, civil as well as defense, or for that matter nuclear power imports. So very important focus on the modular reactors, the nuclear module reactors, on which there are going to be in fact a number of negotiations, collaborations, deals that are going to be struck between India and the rest of the world. In fact, we have the Union Home Minister who has also tweeted out, he speaks about Vikas Bharat budget. He says the Vikas Bharat budget embodies Bharat as a nation forging its new identity as an emerging economic power, center with resolute trust in its own strengths. Post-COVID, Prime Minister Modi's visionary economic policies have fueled the Indian economy. The Viksit Bharat budget turbocharges the momentum to bolster India's position on the global stage as the most attractive investment destination for a wide range of sectors, from traditional to the new age ones. So clearly that is a summation of all that has been announced by the Finance Minister today in Budget 2026-2027. Brian on the telecast with me. Brian, shed more light into the key takeaways. Of course, when we have custom duty waivers, there has been an increase in Capex. We've seen focus on rare earth minerals, building our pharma as well as electronic sector, critical minerals, artificial intelligence, nuclear power imports. All these are the big ticket items in the budget.
Well, Megha, clearly, yes, just a while back, the union budget has been announced, and we're joined by the panel, the PhD panel, all industry leaders, and I think it will be very important for them, their reactions to come in front, to come forward, and we are joined by them. I'll like to introduce them. On the right, we have Ashok Batra, who is the Chair Indirect Taxes for PhD CCI. Then we have Mukul Bagla, who is the Chair Direct Taxes, PhD CCI, followed by Dr. D.K. Agarwal, who is the former President, PhD CCI Capital Market. And then we have Anil Parashar, who is Chair Tourism Committee, PhD Indigo. Sir, I'll start with you. My very first question, your reaction. We've heard the budget, we've heard the Finance Minister. She presented the budget. Your first reaction on the budget, how do you react on the very budget that was announced?
Not up to my expectation. I was thinking there will be certain sweeping reform in GST also, in spite of the fact that there is a GST 2 which was introduced in September 2025. But yes, after income tax and GST 2.0, now they have made sweeping changes so far as custom is concerned. And even in the case of tariff war with the US, they have given one-time concession to the SEZ unit also. But I was expecting there will be much more changes in GST. But yes, some good changes have been made. Whatever has been suggested by the GST Council in 55th GST Council, everything has been done. With regard to the liquidity, they have made refund procedures more easily, even in the case of inverted duty structure. And secondly, they have also made certainty with regard to the taxation policies. And more importantly, if I look at it,
Hello.
discount
I
these FMCG companies, they have been giving post-sale discount. That litigation was there, that will come down. And more importantly, it is a big boon for the tour operators and also the uh, marketing agent who are procuring orders for the foreign companies, because their services have become export because of the change in the definition of intermediary. So those who are falling in the definition of intermediary, they have got a big boost. Not only their cost will reduce, they will be able to get the ITC credit, whatever they are likely to get, whatever they incur that GST on their expenditure, they will get refund for that also. So overall, good budget, but yes, falling short
sir,
so far the ease of doing
yeah,
business is concerned.
Sir, Mukul sir, I would want to give it to you as well. You chair the Direct Taxes Committee. How do you see the tax exemptions that have been displayed on the budget that the Finance Minister presented today? How do you see it, especially in the sector of tax exemptions? There were TCS, exemptions also. So how do you see that?
Last year's budget was more of a blockbuster budget, wherein we saw a lot of reduction in tax rates. So, as we all know that this cannot happen every year, and there was the tax collections this year have not increased at that great a ratio. The increase in tax rates at a gross level is only about 4%. At the net level, it is about 8%. So, with the tax collections not being as robust, you can't expect the tax cuts to happen in every budget. So that I think, but overall, this budget was more about tax administration, about how ease of doing business could happen. And I would say that a lot of our chamber's demands were met in this budget. We had requested the finance ministry for reducing rates of TCS on foreign travel and on education expenses. So that has been reduced from 5% to 2%. We had, for ease of doing business, we had recommended that the ICDS should be removed. So that has been done. Of course, it's very difficult to comment on the finance budget right now without looking at the fine print. But I would say overall, a lot of things have changed. The way the amount received on buyback of shares has been changed from into capital gain tax is a very welcome change. The due dates for filing revised returns has been extended, which again is very welcome. So I would say all in all, it's a budget in the right direction to make it more ease of doing business, to make it more in favor of consistency in the policy. So that is what I think is my take on the budget.
And sir, you also, if you can also just put ahead, we had a conversation also pre-budget regarding your expectations. If you can also speak about your reaction on that.
Yeah, well, I'll say the budget is overall a balanced budget, which will ensure the stability in the economy, which will ensure growth in the economy, and also the fact that fiscal deficit prudence has been maintained. The target has been set at 4.3%, which will ensure that inflation is under control. Having said all this, there are